and it is time for my favorite segment of the show. It's time to play Call, Fold, or All In. I am obviously a betting man. Jim Root is obviously a betting man. Patrick Young, are you a betting man?
Not really.
So you're just playing along with us. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I play along, but I know how to play blackjack.
You're a team guy. That's what that tells me.
Yeah.
You're a yes coach. I'll do whatever you need from me tonight. I appreciate that.
I'll take that guy out.
This might
whatever
be
you need.
this might be the only time you're ever in a setting with me and Jim, and we ask you to be a role player, Pat. Let's just call it that.
Yeah.
All right. So I've got five. I've got five of the more. I said it before. I've got five of the more divisive teams in the country. Teams that I think it wouldn't be crazy to say that you think they can win a national championship. It would not be crazy to say you think this team is horrible and will be one and done in the NCAA tournament. So my premise to you, I'll give you a team, and then I want you to tell me if you are calling, which means you still like them, you want to see a little more. If you are folding, which means you are absolutely done, throw them in the trash. Or if you are all in, it doesn't matter what has happened. It doesn't matter what will happen. You're riding or dying with this team, and you think you can win a national championship. Let's start with Rob Doster's own UConn Huskies. The Huskies are 5-6 in Big East play after 11-0 in the non-conference. There's a lot wrong with them right now. Pat, let's go to you first. Are you calling, folding, or are you all in on UConn?
I don't like that. Quite for a national championship. That's what's at stake.
National title.
Fold.
You don't have to say they're going to do it, but you have to say you believe it could happen to be all in.
I believe I will call. I believe that a team that was so explosive and early on, it can be at the flip of a switch. If UConn could do it, and this I'm talking back in with who's our guy, who was the coach that just Jim Calhoun with the Kemba Walker team that wasn't even going to make the tournament and went on a crazy run. I believe crazier things have happened, have they not? And I'm going to call. I'm not going to go all in, not even, and I won't fold up. Won't give it up on them either. But the Big East that's been some great basketball. Those are some fun games to watch. So fans, if you're not watching those games, I don't think you like basketball. You're missing out.
They're fantastic. Some of the best ones. Every Marquette game, I think, is must watch. But Greg, I'm folding. Take my cards. I'm out on UConn. Guard play is not good enough. I know Rob is going to push for that second half kind of reshaping of the offense where they turned it over to Jordan Hawkins last night. And I think that's the best option. You play him at the 2. There's just a little too much Diarra, Aline, Calcaterra on this team. And I don't know who gets a bucket late in games. You can't play through your big in tournaments. Yeah, not Diarra. Stop trying to make Hassan Diarra happen. That's what I say. So yeah, I'm folding. I'm out on UConn. I don't like the juju around them. I don't like the backcourt play outside of Hawkins.
Wow. You might have just swung me. I was fully ready to call, but that was such a great breakdown of it. I think I'm ready to fold. But by the way, Calcaterra, wasn't he fun for like a month? And now it's kind of like, I don't know. Like
what happened?
Yeah, something fell off there. I'm gonna jump on board with Jim Root. I'm gonna hitch my wagon to Jim Root, and we are going to fold on the UConn Huskies. Let's go back to my Big Ten. This is a team I got to see in person a couple weeks ago in Champaign, the Illinois Fighting Illini. 5-1 in their last 6 games. Coincidentally, 5-1 since a certain freshman point guard transferred out of the program. Jim, you buying? Well, not buying. You calling? You folding? Or are you all in on the Illini?
I'm chips in. I'm all in on Illinois. I really like the structure of the team now that Clark's out. I think the pecking order makes a lot more sense. And since preseason, I've been saying this team is structured more for postseason success. Last year really built around one big, could kind of only play one way with Kofi. Yep. A lot more malleability, lineup options here. You can go big with Danger. He gives them that presence, or you can go smaller, play through a big wing and Shannon, or you can go through some of the freshman guards. And maybe you get Luke Goody back and add another perimeter weapon coming up here. I'm in on Illinois. I think they're going to trend up late in the year and into the postseason.
Pat?
I'm continuing to you're quite convincing, Jim. And I have turned my attention to this Illinois team, especially with seeing what Matt Meyer's been doing as of late. started off extremely slow. Been shooting, I think he was scoring like 5 points a game at a stretch to 15 per game, 40% from three. I just flipped the script on his game completely. Dane Danger, man, I didn't expect him, and especially against Michigan State. Anybody against Michigan State, the bigs are just going to give it to you. Sure. I'm going to call. I'm not going to go all in. I'm going to call them to at least be a Sweet 16 team, not national championship.
I want to be right there with you, Pat. I want to call, except calling is the least Illinois thing you can do with this team. You either have to be the hottest team in the country or the coldest team. Like there is no middle ground with Illinois. Either they're great or they're horrible. In light of that, I actually have to convince myself to fold here, and I don't feel good about it. I give Brad Underwood a ton of credit for making big picture changes. You look at his rosters the last 3 seasons. I think last year he said it was Andre Curbello's team all offseason. And then a month later, he was essentially out of the rotation. This year, he's done the same, I think. He's managed situations that are going to put his team in a better position to be successful. The thing I don't trust is Brad Underwood to make decisions on the fly in a game when it's a dogfight of a game. He has not necessarily shown that yet. So single elimination in March, I'm going to fold until I see Brad Underwood make a little run himself. I got to be skeptical. Let's move out west where we have Gonzaga. They've been playing with fire for a month at this point. They lost to Loyola Marymount at home. That seemed like the well-breaking moment for this team. Pat, let's go to you first. Call, fold, or all in on the Zags?
Fold. I'm just going with my gut. I just haven't seen it. That there was obviously all the hype around. Just the guard play's not there. Just not shooting the ball well enough to be a team to contend. And I can't believe they lost at home. Like broke that streak. We know these streaks and records are meant to be broken, but that just head scratcher. I wouldn't want to touch the Zags this year. I still think they obviously a tournament team. I would win a few games. I getting out the first weekend, but I think with the right matchup, even a mid-major, if they match up with a Big East team, I think they don't stand a chance.
Yep, I'm folding as well. The defense isn't good. It's the worst Mark Few's had in like over a decade at Gonzaga. This is the first time since 2016 that they've dropped in KenPom during WCC play. Typically, they just dominate. And I know it's a better league this year, but look what St. Mary's is doing to the same league. Like they're destroying everybody, and Gonzaga is decidedly not. Guard play is still a little bit of a question mark, and there's no rim protection without Chet Holmgren. They haven't recovered without him. I'm out on this Gonzaga team. I don't really think they'll make the Sweet 16.
Yeah, guys, I can't believe I'm going to say it. I'm going to call on Gonzaga right now. All the signs are there that you should fold. Jim, I love the stat that they've actually gone down in conference play. That's stunning. I don't know that they're going to get there. I don't know that this is going to be a strategic adjustment, but could I please dial up more Malachi Smith, though? Like, we talked 50, 40, 90 club. The guy's 53, 54, 83 right now club. That's a crazy club. And he's playing 20 minutes a game. I don't trust the backcourt, but I kind of want to see a little more of him. And wouldn't it just be fitting if this is the Gonzaga team that does sort of somehow get over the hump? Like they don't lose too early in March with Drew Timme this year and just out. And I could see it. That's all I'm saying. I don't know how I can see it, but I could see it. Let's move to one final team here and then we'll go to break. This is a cold team right now. It's the Kansas Jayhawks. I can't believe we're even asking this. They were in contention to be the number 1 team in the country. They're on a 3-game losing streak for the first time since 2013. And gentlemen, their schedule in the next 2 weeks at Kentucky, home against Kansas State, at Iowa State, where nobody's won this season, and then home against Texas. This could continue spiraling. Jim, are you calling, folding, or all in on the Jayhawks?
Calling Kansas. Excuse me, calling. I've been folder all in. I'm going to finally take a fence sitting position here. The shooting still concerns me a little bit, but the 2 through 4 matchup problems that they have with Wilson, Dick, and McCullough, that's not going anywhere. I think it's going to be really tough to deal with in a postseason setting with sort of limited time to prepare. Got a great point guard in Harris who just needs to figure things out. He's had a really rough stretch as the team has. But I think the defense is real, and the fact that they have multiple playmakers and scorers at least has me interested. So I'm waiting and seeing here, PY.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you there with calling, but this brutal stretch is coming up. But the Big 12 has been unbelievable league this year. And I'm putting my call in because I trust Bill Self. I trust that he's going to be able to flip the script with his team to make those in game. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this game. Obviously, we're gonna, as I said earlier, we're gonna got a lot of stuff to get into for this upcoming game this Saturday. But I'm gonna call the Jayhawks. I still think with what they've been able to do and prove, the Big 12 is just so deep that nobody was going to get. I think it's projected that Ken Palm projected the winner of the league is going to be 12-6 around there. So you knew Kansas, somebody was going to go get beat up in this league, especially with how good Iowa State is right now, being a top 5 team. So yeah, and Kansas State. So yeah, I'm going to go with the call.
Yeah, I want to fold this roster, but Pat nailed it for me. You got to call it because Bill Self's coaching it. You never know what's going to happen with a Bill Self team. The only thing I would push back on, Jim, is DeJuan Harris a great point guard? Are we sure? Do great point guards go for 5 points and 13 turnovers in a 4-game stretch where they lose 3 of 4?
Yeah, that's hard to. I don't have much rebuttal to that. It's been really bad. It's been a rough stretch.
That's not a tough stretch.
It's been bad. And look, he's been great at other stretches, but this is, you want to point fingers at why is this going so poorly? There's one finger I would point right there. All right, coming up, we're going to talk Big 12 SEC Challenge, starting with Kansas, Kentucky, but moving beyond it to Texas, Tennessee as well. That's next on the Field of 68 After Dark.